Hey guys, Johnny Disc Golf back at it again. This time I am joined by five-time world champion, Miss Paige Pierce. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you? It's been a
I'm.
while.
I know. I was gonna say it's haven't been doing the interviews a ton lately. All things considered, at events it's not great to get next to people, but I would say I'm doing great because I'm in California in the winter. But the look behind you, I think you might have one up to me. Where are you, and how awesome is it where you are?
Yeah, I'm in Hawaii. I've been here for the past month and a half, and I'm on the Big Island, north side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been incredible. Today's a little bit overcast, but for the most part, it's been sunny every day and just like perfect temperature. You
Wow.
don't really yeah, it's been great.
So, what brought you over to Hawaii? Do you have people over there? Is it just on a whim?
hmm Yeah, actually, quite the opposite. I don't know anybody here, and that was
Oh.
kind of the idea was like I definitely wanted to go somewhere warm in the off season to train and to keep in the disc golf rhythm. And so that kind of limits your options, especially with COVID and travel restrictions. So, yeah, I started looking into Hawaii. It was the last state that I hadn't been to, and I've always wanted to go. And they were open for during quarantine. So yeah, made the decision to come and with the thought in mind that I don't know anybody here and
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of just like it sounds kind of weird, but like just like connect with myself. I've been
Mm-hmm.
on the road for 11 years and it's been so fast paced and like always just filled with people. I mean, like always around our friends and disc golfers alike. But um, yeah, I never really have spent much time alone. So I was kind of like looking forward to like getting to
Mm-hmm.
know myself a little bit better and just like kind of figuring out what I like to do when I'm not disc golfing.
Well, I mean, the question is obvious at this point. Like, what do you like to do on your own when you're not disc golfing? How's it been?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, it was really like eye opening to figure out that like I don't need to share my experiences to have fun. You know, like when you're in a group setting and you're like, we've been to waterfalls together, me
Mm-hmm.
and you, and like,
Yeah.
like you're just like talking back and forth and you're like, oh man, isn't this cool? Isn't that cool? You talk about things, but like when you're by yourself, like you still admire those things, but you not having to like speak about it has been so peaceful. Just like enjoying each experience and not having to put words to it and just to like feel how I'm feeling. So honestly, I've been doing the same kind of stuff, just exploring, um, getting connected with this island and a bunch of nature. I
Mm-hmm.
think you can hear the birds chirping in the background.
Yeah.
I
So
think
awesome.
I think one of my favorite parts has just been like the sounds. Like there's no people screaming or cars honking or
Mm-hmm.
brakes and like it's so far removed from any of that. So you just like hear birds and frogs and the sound of wind and waterfalls all around you. So I think that's been my favorite part so far.
I mean, I know most people on tour. I know you love outdoors. You're going to be exploring. You're going to be having a field day out there because Hawaii is great for that. But I don't know Hawaii as like a disc golf destination or anything like that. Like, is there high level disc golf courses? Like, have you been able to actually get your practice in?
Yeah, so there are three permanent courses on the Big Island.
Mm-hmm.
Two are on the north side, which I'm closer to. I'm like 35 to 45 minutes from them.
Okay.
And then there's one course on the Kona side, which I'm like a little over an hour away from. And then they actually just got word since I've been here that they got approved for another 18-hole championship type of course
Oh
on the
wow.
Kona side as well. And I guess the design's done and everything. They just don't have baskets or tees in yet. But yeah, so they have like at least three courses, a couple
Mm-hmm.
other courses that are temporary that they just bring their baskets to and stuff. But yeah, like you said, it's not a super disc golf destination, but there is a really active disc golf community here. And they just had the Big Island Open last weekend. It was a C tier this year, but in past years it's been an A tier or a B tier.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So there is at least a little bit of a scene there for you to kind of get your feet
Mm-hmm.
into and start playing. Um, Off season, I want to go even a little bit further back than off season. One of the big storylines over the past few months has been that ESPN broadcast. You were part
Mm-hmm.
of it. did you watch that like the day it came out? What was that? What was it like to kind of be on national TV like that?
Yeah, it was kind of surreal because it was like, obviously it was on a TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've watched a lot of disc golf coverage and coverage that I've been on a TV, but like you type in YouTube and it's post production. So like
Mm-hmm.
for moments I was like, this isn't that cool. Like I've seen myself,
Yeah.
I've seen Calvin, I've seen Kevin, like, but then like when a commercial would come up, surprisingly, that was what was the most like surreal, was like, oh yeah, this is like actually on TV,
Mm-hmm.
not just on my TV, but
Yeah.
yeah, like, and then hitting guide and seeing like 2020 Pro Tour Championship, like that was so cool. And the part of like Bubba Watson and like all these people like taking to Twitter and Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and posting that they were watching. And yeah, it's been really, really awesome. And actually I got some kind of a news that's came from that, actually.
Hit me.
I told you, so we were supposed to film this 15 minutes prior, but I told you I was finishing up an email.
Mm-hmm.
After ESPN aired that, I got contacted by a guy at Sports Illustrated. And so they're doing a huge piece on disc golf, and that's going to be out the week before Las Vegas Challenge. So
No.
we've been going back and forth on some Zoom calls and some emails. And yeah, I got a lot of information to him. They're really excited. The last article they did about disc golf was in 1993. So this is long overdue. And they were only going to do a 2,000 word count article, and they upped it to a 6,000 word count. So it's like
Wow.
huge. And his boss was stoked about it and wanted him to increase the story. So it's really big for disc golf, I think.
So, like, am I getting like a exclusive right here? Like, how do I not know about this? Am I getting scoop?
I guess so. I've told a few people, like friends, but I haven't really like posted about it anywhere. But yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that
it's
is
been
so
fun.
cool.
I've been like researching, like I said, when it was a 2,000 word piece, it was kind of more just on me and like a woman that's dominant in sports.
Mm-hmm.
But our interview turned into a 2-hour long Zoom call where we just started talking all things disc golf, and he really wants to cover the whole growth of the sport. So it's been cool for me as like a fan of the sport to like get these numbers. I've been in contact with the PDJ and Ulti World and UDisc and yeah, talking to a bunch of like our sports top players too, and just like gathering numbers and stats and stuff to give him. So it's been cool, like getting deeper connected with all these numbers and seeing tangible numbers of how the sport's grown.
Wow, no, it's cool. It's you've kind of like slid into a researcher's role a little bit. Is there any number that kind of stands out to you now that you just got my interest? Is there any number that you can think of that like made you jump, or like something that stood out to you that you communicated to the folks over at Sports Illustrated?
Yeah. If I can try to multitask while I'm on here, I have a whole thing. I think the last week has been our contacts our messages have been about like players, contracts and sponsorships, dollars, stuff like that. So that really wasn't like new information to me, but the couple weeks prior was like the PDJ and UDisc stuff, which was really intriguing to me, just to see the number of courses that have gone up from like, when was their last count? They did like in July. Yeah. In July of 2020, they did a count. And then in December, they did a count. And just to see the increase in those 5 months was astronomical. So
Really?
I'm going to try to find it while we're on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, anecdotally, just even at Golden Gate Park here in San Francisco, just the growth of the game since COVID, since like kind of the original lockdown, has been insane. Like I would say legitimately 1.7 to like twice as many people at the course, just over the last 8 months alone. So I can imagine,
awesome.
If you're looking at the actual data, I bet you there's some serious.
Yeah, I found it now.
Okay, hit me.
I found it now. So as of November 24th, there are 11,300 courses in the world. The last count before this was May 2017, and there was 6,800 courses, so almost doubled.
Wow.
And then the countries that have the most courses, 8,026 in the US, 811 in Finland, 469 in Canada, 356 in Sweden, and 71 total countries have disc golf in them. And we're averaging 500 new courses in a year. So it's been pretty crazy to see that growth, like the active number of members that went up over since August 26th to December 1st was 14,200, give or take.
That's on active PDGA members?
Yeah, 67% growth in 2020.
That's insane.
So, incredible. So yeah, just kind of sharing those numbers with them and like them seeing like, wow, this is like tangible proof that the sport is taking off. And let me ask, awesome.
Do you see those numbers and think like, yes, I am in such a good position to kind of like ride this growth out? Or do you feel like, I mean, because you've been touring for like over 10 years now, like, do you feel like you're almost a little bit too early?
Maybe if I was a little older, but I'm only 29, so I think I have at least like 6 more years, like at my prime. Des was competing. I mean, and we're all different. It kind of just depends on how you take care of your body, and that's like been another huge goal of mine this off season is to really like start eating better, start like waking up at an earlier time, going to sleep earlier, like making sure I'm getting good sleep and I'm, preparing my body in every way to like be in this sport longer term, because it is exciting when I see those numbers and seeing that it's growing, and I do still want to be involved in the sport big time. I mean, it's my biggest passion. So, it's kind of exciting, but also scary because I am getting older, but I know that I can be proactive about making that my involvement longer. So, just going to try to keep like inspiring other people and inspiring myself to keep pushing the sport forward.
No, 100%. Let's talk about the 2021 season. You mentioned that you had some goals, eating right, keeping your body in good shape, obviously not getting injured goes along with that. Do you have any like hard goals, plans, expectations for 2021? You've been dominant for so many years.
Yeah. I want to win a major, at least one. And I think that's pretty obvious. That Worlds is at the top of that list to become the 6-time world champion and be the first woman that's ever reached that. That's the biggest goal for sure. And just like feeling really hopeful that Worlds stays active. I mean, we were supposed to have it last year and it got canceled. So just excited that there's now another opportunity for that to be possible, and just hoping that it is that it does happen. And if it does, I want to be as ready as I can be. And other than that, to reach that 1,000 rated that I've been chasing, I'm nine points away. So looking forward to opening the year off hot, hopefully, and moving closer to that number.
Worlds is likely just going to be a little bit different this year because, I mean, maybe things will change, but I would be surprised if we had the European contingency here in the United States for Worlds. Do you think that, like, if there is no international travel, like, should we still have Worlds? I mean, I feel like I probably already know what your answer is on that one, but, like, is it going to feel any different now that we don't have, in FBO, like, half the top 10 is European?
Yeah, big time. And I think that's a big part of it is beating out the world's best. It's not a world title when the whole world's not there. So I think that is kind of a bummer, but I'm kind of like this next sentence is going to be kind of like in question, because I don't know. Are they not allowed to come to America right now?
This
I feel
sentence
like
is
we're not
also
allowed
going
to
to
go to
be in
Europe.
question. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So legally,
Google it.
I don't know, but I will say that it's unlikely that even if it's a legal issue, that many of them are going to want to travel, all things considered.
Yeah.
So, so I-
Where I stand, if I was European and I knew that the World Championships was happening, I
Mhm.
don't care. I'm going. Like even
Yeah.
if I have to quarantine for 14 days, like a chance at a world title, like I'll quarantine for 3 months, you know? So I think if, oh, travelers, oh, they can't. Well, this is as of September. Yeah. So it's, I don't know. It's hard to
What?
answer your question. Like,
Yeah, and it's
it's
all in
like, we
flux.
don't
It
know.
like all this could change, so we're all like supposing,
Mm-hmm.
But I guess in a world where we supposed that Europeans can't come, well, let's just for the sake of the question, they're not there. Does it feel a little bit less like I don't know, tasty, the sixth one?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. But if they hold it, I'm gonna play it, regardless. So whatever I have to do, I'm gonna play it. Yeah, I think that there's been some world championships already in my career that haven't been as tasty, like so.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah,
I know which one you're probably thinking about too.
yeah,
That.
Pittsburgh with
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sarah Hook'em. Yeah, so yeah, I think that we just gotta wait to see what happens. It's
Okay.
crazy. It's crazy times, but yeah, if they hold it, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna give it my all. That's all I know right now.
Awesome. Are you when you coming back to the contiguous 48? Are you like just coming back right before Vegas? Or are you going to be here for a while?
I will be coming back on February 1st, and I have my van is in Arizona right now in Phoenix, and
Okay.
then um, that's where we're having the All Stars event. So um, the 19th, 20th, or actually, it's only on the 21st competition wise, but we have to be there on the 19th. We're doing a bunch of media. I'm sure
Sure.
you're going to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is yeah, so what 19 days after I land, so I'll be practicing the courses in Phoenix and unpacking and getting back into the dry desert heat and getting ready for the season full swing.
Awesome. Wow. I can't believe we're just about back at it. It's kind of insane. It's gone so quick.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want to, say to the people, any of the fans out there? Anything you want to communicate before the season?
Oh man, just truly thank you guys for signing up for tournaments, for signing up for the Pro Tour. What do they call it? The viewing package. Whatever.
The,
Anyways,
like,
I heard that the numbers are incredible on that we're going to have so many more people watching for all those tournaments that are not in phase one. I'm excited to see you guys, to hear you clapping again. And I think that that's been a huge part of what we've been missing as professionals is just the vibe of the crowd and like the energy that you guys bring. So I'm really looking forward to some phase 2 and phase 3 events if that's possible. And when that's not and it is phase 1, I'm just trying to find a way to channel feeling you guys there even though you're watching screen. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support and cheers to another year ahead.
Perfect. And thank you again, Paige. Really appreciate your time. Thank you from the whole San Francisco crew. You've got like a cult following out here just from that Chance First Chumps alone. I said I would say it. Jerry Showman says, hey.
What
But
up?
yeah, he demanded that I say something to you. So had to get that out there. That's all I got for the interview, though. Again, appreciate you coming on. Folks at home, if you'd like to follow interviews of all things disc golf, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel.